हमारा उद्देश्य एक ही है, जान से मारेंगे, क्योंकि मारेंगे तभी जी पाएंगे।
Hi Ali, how are you?
Hi, good. As good as I think we can be in almost the end of the year. So yeah.
And like speaking of the year, this has been both a good as well as a bad year for you. I mean, you lost your mother this year, but it's been, I think,
Yeah.
fantastic professionally, right?
Yeah. It's been a mix of both. And I don't know what to say to that. I suppose I'm blessed that there was work coming in at a very tough time in my life, and there have been people who've been around me, um, just a good support system. So yeah, I'm still. I mean, it's something you can't really. Yeah, you still struggle with it. So what to do?
Okay, so we go back to the beginning, and what is happening to Ek Tho Chance? Is it do we ever get to see it?
Wow. Where did you take that out? I don't know. I haven't seen it myself. I
Sorry.
never never got a chance to see it. But I've been in touch. My biggest takeaway from Ekto Chance was the the chance to be able to associate with Said Mirza. And Said Saab has been almost, of course, a very scarce presence in my career, but one of my mentors, if I can call him, almost like a guruji, because he is not just a filmmaker. He's almost a personality that ranges from a filmmaker, storyteller, uh, documentaries, economics. I mean, he's an economics professor. He's Sufi at heart. He's, so I've gotten introduced to. मतलब उनकी कुछ किताबें बल्कि अभी भी रखी हैं, मुझे देनी है वापस. अच्छा याद दिला दिया आपने. But no, I don't think Ekto Chance is gonna see light. I mean, वो उस वक्त के लिए थी. उसकी किस्मत में वही था. I don't think it ever came out. I don't know. I don't think it. I don't know if it should come out now. But
Why not? I mean, like we have all kinds of content coming out, and this year has shown that OTT is the place where you can see everything. Yeah. So
yeah.
why not?
Maybe you never know. That's a question I should maybe ask Syed Saab, or whoever. I think Pritish Nandi had the rights to it at the time. Yeah, maybe find out. We try and dig it out in good time.
And coming to Mirzapur, I mean, no conversation with you in 2020 can be devoid of Mirzapur. All right. So tell me personally, as an actor, which did you find more grueling, Mirzapur 1 or Mirzapur 2? And B, which did you find more satisfying, 1 or 2?
Interesting question. Grueling was season 1 because I think physically it was just, I mean, a hell ride. I was surviving on very less sleep. I used to be cranky all the time. I used to be working out like some 3 hours a day, and doing that for like 3 months is just takes a toll, I think, sometimes. Also doing my actions on my own. So, so I had a lot of injuries, which I had to, sort of live with for almost a year after that. Mentally grueling was season 2, I think, and most, I suppose, satisfying in many ways for me as an actor. I saw season 2 like just last month.
Okay.
And I thought, because I hadn't shot with the rest of the cast. My entire track was very different to a separate track, mine and Shweta and Harshita's. But yeah, it was mentally very draining, very draining. I've not had such an emotional journey in any work that I've done.
Also, you've been associated with the project for it's a long time, right? To give to a project, so it's many months that you.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you're shooting 3 films back to back, right? It's the same nuance, it's the same whatever. Everything is just that it's elongated. And so sometimes you get like in the middle, you're like, "Acha, abhi khatam karo, jaldi karo." But every damn scene was so intense, and there was so much baggage uh, for that character. So I thought, yeah, I thought it was tough for any actor. I think it would have been a tougher one to do season two. Also, you have to deliver to those expectations, which,
Yeah.
so many of my close friends who are like heavy critics, they तो were very unhappy. They were like, अरे ये क्या है, ये कुछ और है, तुम इतना उसमें subdued हो और तुम इतना,
True.
suddenly you've gone subtle and, you're, it's like you've lost someone. And I said, yes, I have. That's, if you watch season one, that's why he's so I
Yeah.
the Janta reacts in different ways, right? They get used to something and they want that. I think
Yeah.
somewhere inherently we don't want to accept our heroes
As
and
humans.
see their vulnerable side. Once you've seen them go, save the world or whatever. So I think
Yeah.
explore that.
I think it's one of the reasons why Salman Khan's Tubelight did not work, because people could not take him as a vulnerable character, like.
Yeah,
So I think we
yeah.
want our heroes to be larger than life, always beating someone up and always, doing something or the other.
That's
So
the, the
Guddu, this Guddu has given you that, right?
yeah, it's definitely taken me here and there. Of course, there was a lot of action this time as well. Uh, but yeah, it was a little more like the stakes were up. I couldn't. I missed doing the comedy in what I did in season one. I mean, I love comedy. I'm a sucker for comedy. I think all our lives are
Yeah.
naturally filled with so much comedy that yeah, this time it was just undoable for me. So yeah, let's
But we
see.
have FUKREY 3 coming up. That we'll see a
That
lot of comedy
that should compensate.
in.
Yeah.
So now you've gone back to your leaner frame. I think from what I can make out on video. Uh, yeah. So the Mirzapur Guddu is now like on the back seat, and now you're gonna go back to FUKREY 3. What does your 2021 look like?
No, I'm in the middle. I'm shooting something. So
Hmm.
I'm prepping for that right now. I'm shooting something outside India,
Yeah.
and I will join the cast as soon as I finish. So I mean, that is always, I think, something everybody gets really scared of because because I'm just out, and I think these times, COVID times, it's very unpredictable, right? Like, so everybody,
Yeah.
all the shoots have to be in a bubble, and you're just scared. Like, if somebody falls sick, then
Hmm.
there's delay. So everybody's scared कि भाई आप खत्म करके बस आ जाना time पे.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward though. Hopefully I'll finish this one project and I'll because that's a hardcore action
Hmm.
film, um, and then I'll join FUKREY for some good relief in 2020.
We have Death on the Nile coming up.
Yeah,
So
no, yeah, that's gotten pushed to September, so it's a bit of a delay, but I think they wanna catch. I mean, they want people to catch it in the hot season, which is the end of the year.
yeah.
Um, and yeah, I'm really excited. I'm really excited about that because I mean, I don't know about the film, but I know that we're gonna we're just gonna look like beautiful people because we're dressing well, great costumes. We've
Yeah.
we've shot the film on actual stock
Oh,
on film, so
wow.
which is very rare, and
Hmm.
and and that has its own charm. So I personally did not want to watch that particular film on my TV because uska charm ही all में है.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm happy that I think the studio has made that decision, and
So
I'm
how
going to
how
do
was
that.
it? How was it shooting in Egypt? Because you were there, bang in the middle of the pandemic, when things were just sort of falling
No,
apart.
actually,
And
yeah, I
so you
think
were at El
December.
Gona when, yeah.
Yeah, Egypt. I mean, Egypt. तो मैं अभी गया था. वो तो
Huh.
that was for a film festival for El Guna.
For El Gona, yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, I was in the jury, and my God, that they were totally cut off from the world and safe and beautiful. It's a
Yeah.
gated. I mean, can you imagine it's a gated city, so it's like privately owned by somebody. So it's just like you're entering, everything is safe, all the COVID, uh, how do you say,
Protocols are, yeah.
protocols are taken care of, and then you're
Mm.
just, yeah, clean air, good people. Egypt culture is very similar to us, I've noticed.
Yeah, yeah.
Like even the temperament now of people is very similar. तो बहुत बहुत मजा आया, मतलब ऐसा अपना feel आया.
And they love
Of course,
Indians. Like,
yeah, they love Indians, and they're just obsessed with Amitabh Bachchan and Shah Rukh Khan.
yes.
I think that's the go-to name when in doubt. So, so that was fun, and but yeah, I saw too many films. They had to watch some 30 films. Um, so that's always fun when I get to do that, on a paid holiday. So it's yeah.
But you've said that you don't watch your films because you say you think that
And
you criticize yourself too much.
I do that. I do that a lot, which is why it took me a long time to watch Mirzapur. I finally
Mm.
sort of watched it in bits and pieces. But yeah, that's. I think most actors do. We end up psyching ourselves out too much. I think that journey is nice, and once it's done, it's done. Like I can't. Then I'm an audience, right? I can sit and watch it, and then suddenly watch myself come on screen and make a total, you know.
You detach yourself from, yeah,
I
from I think from.
maybe one day I'll be able to, and then I cannot get depressed. मेरे 2 दिन घुस जाते हैं अगले. So
So
yeah.
in your close circle, who's your biggest critic?
Uh, I mean, I think my friends, my close friends, my college friends, there are 2, 3 of them who I really sort of value their opinions. Uh, so they are pretty ruthless, and yeah, Richa is somebody I really
Yeah.
respect her opinion. So in fact, for the longest time, I didn't see it, but I kept telling her, I said, you just watch it and tell me, watch whatever's come out. So yeah, I'm also because I'm a fan of hers, so I value her opinion a lot. I think that's why it makes
I
sense.
think I spoke to Richa, this is from I think 2016, when she said that she wouldn't want to date somebody from the film industry. And
Ah, say that interview
yeah.
now.
And now we have, you guys together. And it's just so good to see you guys together because how do you say it? There's a
Right.
sadgi in it, if that's the correct word I'm using, because there's that innocence, and there is that there's your journey, both of you as actors, both of you have come from nothing more or less, and then you do something like this for yourself, and then you find somebody to share and partake of in the journey. Just tell me what it's like, you guys tell me what it's like.
Wow. I like the adjectives you've used. It's so nice. Just say that in front of Richa.
I'll do that. Yeah.
नहीं यार हम लोग try करते हैं whatever. I think also because we are both we read a lot. So our one of our main attractions to each other was the fact that we were. I mean, I loved how witty she was, and to begin with, it still is. I mean, and just that our intellectual exchange is not just about cinema, and it's about the world and what is happening, and that there is so much more. The fact that we are actually blessed to be artists in especially a world like the world we have made for ourselves today. Uh, is not something we should be very proud of, but it's an interesting time because um, I suppose both of us feel like we can't just sit back and do our एक होता नहीं है homework मैंने complete कर लिया submit कर दिया आगे बढ़ो. That's not unfortunately how our lives will ever be because we are held responsible for everything we put out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, I can go on many tangents. But हाँ मतलब
Please.
I feel
I
एक
think your
पूरा
fans
styling
would
और
love it.
tangent. Oh, uh, but yeah, I mean, we bond on those things. Yeah, I still like writing. I think the first time, yeah, one of the few things I remember is I noticed her using an ink pen, and I thought I was the only one. And we still like writing to each other on these small notes. We'll keep slyly leaving each other here and there. Uh, um, yeah, I'm trying to find the most of it. So cinema and art, that is one part of it, and वो बहुत जरूरी है क्योंकि हमें कहानियां सुनानी है और बहुत अब तो और कहानियां सुनानी है कि I think somewhere when a society goes through a lot of turmoil is when fortunately or
Art.
unfortunately
Yeah. Yeah.
you get the best of your art that comes out of that.
True. True. Yeah.
Um, I mean, the last time it was the 1950s, and we had a golden era in this thing. I'm not saying ours is any gold, but I'm saying we could do a
No, we
bronze.
could. Yeah.
We could maybe, but also because I think the canvas has gotten bigger, and
Yeah.
the world is your stage now. So more than just doing cinema, more than acting, our voices are being hopefully being heard on the other end of the line. So
Yeah, especially, you have straddled both Bollywood and Hollywood, with the kind of work you've been doing. And do you think so earlier, like till about last year, you were traveling from here and there, and there was just this pressure of being at so many places at one time. And now suddenly this year, it's all come down, it's all shrunken to a screen, right? So how do you see that change? How do you adapt to that change?
um, it's less heavy on the pocket when you have to wear clothes and buy clothes. I look at it
Okay.
that I'm an economics student, okay, so I'm a bit of a yeah chindi when it comes to that. But no, I'm kidding. But it's been a lot of adjusting, right? We've uh, uh, I mean, from adjusting an entire loss of a family member during a pandemic to just relationships for the longest time because I was living in separately and Richa was separate, so we were in our own homes. So this was the only way we would chat with each other. Learning so many things, learning how to be with yourself. I think we've just totally forgotten that. Um, of course, if you want inspiring things that 2020 has taught us, we can just go to social media. अभी सब year ender वही चल रहा है ना.
Dalgona coffee भी है उसमें तो. You
Yeah,
have
yeah.
the dalgona coffee as well.
सब हो गया है इस साल.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know what else I can add to it. I think it's just been a big lesson. I don't know what. I think it'll really pan out next year.
Yeah. Yeah.
एक होता है, there's one kind of people who learn. जैसी restriction निकलता है, we come out like भड़ास वापस, back to
Yeah.
which is already happening in fact in many
Yeah.
areas.
Yeah.
And the other type is who actually learn and move on.
Implement
I
it.
think
Yeah.
this is a
Yeah.
great way of interacting sometimes in which saving on petrol, on cars, on a lot of things.
Time, I
If
think.
you really have
Yeah.
to sort of go there and meet the person, then do it. Otherwise, it's fine. Of course, it's always nice because we are social animals inherently, and we
Yeah.
we need we need that interaction. So
Yeah.
we hope.
So I'll go to Mirzapur for a bit. Okay. So in season 3, which is coming up next year, so the focus is going to shift to the Tyagis a little bit. That's what we saw. That's where season 2 ends. And we also have you joining hands with Rasika, with Beena. So tell me how have you read the script of Mirzapur 3? You must have. No? No?
I don't ready. Or is it? I don't
Okay.
I actually haven't read. I'm not even I haven't read it. I do have an idea. Um, yeah, I do have an idea where roughly what will be happening.
Mm.
But I don't know. I don't know yet. I think because we're still not sure if there's a. Because I mean, when you're saying there's a script, that means I should also know if there's a season 4 or not. Which we
Okay.
don't know honestly.
Mm.
Does it end in season 3 or does it carry on? So for that, I would have had to read the script. But there's no.
Okay.
I don't think there's like a proper bound script right now ready.
Okay.
But a lot of ideas are being played, and I think it's being scripted as we speak. But there's enough time. I don't think we're starting before mid next year.
Okay, so
Yeah.
apart from Pankaj Tripathi, tell me the one actor during during the filming that you bonded the best with?
Oh, I think, I mean, on my front, of course, it was Shweta. Shweta was there, Shweta Tripathi. Um, there was also Harshita, who plays my
Harshita.
sister. Um, I love also, like, I've known Rasika. Rasika, I know Rasika and me get along very well that way. It's just वो है थोड़ा उल्टा दिमाग है उसका, so वो अपने planet पे. So so I really get along with her. Isha, Isha Talwar, I've known since college. So she's an old friend. Even though we didn't work together in Mirzapur, she plays she plays
Devendu's,
Madhu.
the Madhuri, yeah.
Yeah. So it was nice to have her on board. But yeah, I think otherwise I barely had any interactions on this set, this particular Mirzapur 2. So it was very isolated, in fact. Even with Pankaj I used to just meet. Maybe if we were both factions were shooting on the same location, we would end up meeting each other. उससे ज़्यादा दफा तो शायद उनके घर में हमने मतलब खाना वाना खाया होगा या we meet outside. So, but I really get along with everybody. I think it's a great team. Devendu is somebody we just share a nice rapport. And who else? Yeah. Vijay. Yeah, I love Vijay. I call him. That's all.
Sorry,
that's
you
my
call
name.
him? I think we didn't
It's just
get
sexy.
you.
There's no sexy something. This is sexy. if there was an adjective for Vijay, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay, that's a thing. I think people will love to know that. Okay, that this is what you call it.
वो है elements हैं.
So, abhi, you're in Bombay now, or are you in Lucknow?
No, I'm in Bombay.
You're in Bombay.
Yeah,
Okay.
just they are setting up the house and everything. Just had to move
Achha.
houses time back, so still going through that. But no, in Bombay totally.
Okay. So tell me, like, of course, you grew up in Lucknow, right? So if you had to choose between Vajpayee ki kachori, Sharma ji ki chai, and tunde kebab, what would you choose?
See, you can't. Oh God. I think Sharma.
Okay.
शर्मा की चाय उसमें वो कुछ मुझे तो लगता है मिलाता है वो कुछ. I feel like I swear man, it's just so addictive यार. It's so addictive. उस kebabs मेरे घर पे बहुत अच्छे बनते हैं.
Okay.
I'm not worried about. And today we've had enough. Like it's okay. Yeah, Vajpayee also actually interesting. You mentioned that. No, but Sharma for sure.
Okay.
My go-to. That's what I take people like for bun maska and chai.
Yeah, people keep complaining that he's just it's too overpriced. That's what they say. But I think you attach price to more nostalgia.
Where are you from?
I'm from Bengal. I'm from a place called Kuch Bihar in West Bengal.
Oh, arey wow. So how do you know about Lucknow? You've been to Lucknow?
Yeah, I was just in Lucknow. So yeah, we went around all these places, and then you sort of put those ticks that ye karna hai, wo karna hai. So I had none of that. I just saw and.
Nice.
Also, yeah, I was in Egypt in March. Yeah, so when I saw you guys in Egypt, I was like, wow, okay, this is
beautiful, right? Last day we somehow made it to the pyramids, huh? Like on our way to the airport. We took like 4 hours out, and we finally did it, and it was, surreal, yaar. Kuch aur hi tha.
Did you go inside?
I tried because they allowed. It was khali time that time. Nobody was there. The guy standing with one, like gun there, and he's like, yeah, you can go. And because I think they built it in a way that you have to bend.
You have to crawl. You have to crawl up. Yeah.
Crawl into it. तो फिर एक टाइम मैंने बोला मैं झुकूंगा नहीं. तो बाहर से देख लूंगा, ठीक है, मेरे को नहीं झुकना, अभी किंग मरा हुआ पड़ा है जो भी है. तो ऐसा ठीक है, बाहर से no, finally we didn't. But it was all lit up and all inside. They lit up the whole thing.
Yeah. I went inside and nearly died inside because it's I'm claustrophobic, so walking
Same.
up that climb is death. By the time
Yeah.
you reach a dead king, you yourself are dead. It's like that.
It's, I thought, looked at it only, I felt claustrophobic. It's just a bit scary.
Yeah.
But I
But
think
no,
we
we
got
saw
our,
all your, yeah, you got your photos, right?
ah, man, that's what, yeah, it was so cool. It was the touristy, like, I'm not even ashamed of doing that touristy photos. Like, we've done the whole, you know, and all the combinations, the guy tells you, kar
Yeah.
tu, kar jo karana hai kar. So,
And
yeah.
okay, we'll come back to your career. Right? This is a fun conversation. I'm liking the way this is, going. So, FUKREY was where you met Richa, right? Like you interacted with her, you met her, and then in 2017, of course, you guys made it official, so to say.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
tell me, like, how has she changed you as a person?
Oh, definitely. Because,
Professionally, personally, yeah.
oh, I think all partners do that, right? Like, they have to have that influence on you. She's a very spiritual person, like inside she's just, I feel like even she doesn't know a lot of that spiritual side about her. Because we're all caught up in our own work and everything in everyday life. But she's really helped center me in many ways. मैं मतलब थोड़ा random था.
Okay.
So yeah, I think, when you start having like you start seeing things clearly because of your environment or whatever that is. She's helped me in that. And I've learned so much. I've gotten introduced to new kinds of music as well. I think and I love that. A lot of people in relationships they say na ki I like blue, you like blue, therefore we love. I said no. What's the point, right? Like, I'm
Yeah,
happy that I
yeah.
like blue and you like something else, and that's fine because then I get to see that color and everything with that color. From the music to the books to um, um, her way of, I suppose, thinking. I still think she's quite, yeah, remarkably gifted up there. So, yeah,
Okay.
I have to work double to kind of keep her impressed.
That's always good, I think, and we can see that in your
Of
work
course,
also, right?
it's freaking crazy. No, no, it's yeah.
Before Mirzapur, I read this somewhere that you have been shot twice, as in your real life.
Where did you read that?
Somewhere on the
Oh,
internet.
um, yeah, yeah. I wouldn't
Okay.
like to talk about that. Don't talk about that. Yeah, that's a bit, yeah. One was a really stupid incident, which, I mean, it was बच्चे नहीं खेलते हैं airgun से यार.
Huh.
One was that. That's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
The other one, I think you don't even know who shot you.
It's just yeah, maybe one day when we socially meet and shake hands in that world,
Okay.
in that dimension, we'll talk about.
Yeah, in the post-COVID world when we don't have to carry sanitizers and
Yeah, I could probably, yeah, meet you and have a little chat.
Oh God, this has been good. And so tell me, okay, tell me, sum up 2020 in one sentence, and tell me the biggest learning from the year.
Uh, Sum up in one. Uh, just that we're all we're all how do you say, we're all tentative, and literally, like, there's this little big scissor that is right near our string, that's keeping us afloat. And I honestly, like, I used to find this so cliche, but every single day now, I suppose ever since my mom I have to constantly remind myself that if today ends for me, I have to be content with it.
True.
Uh, so I don't know. Maybe that works for the pandemic as well. Like, right? Like we all, um, yeah. And at the same time, what we've learned is, or at least what I've taken from this is that you really, I think we were so corrupted by the social media and our phones all these years. We didn't even realize it coming, that we forgot to use our brain, the damn brain that was there. So I think that's our takeaway, that you really have to almost detach and start using your heads, because uh, I mean there is the kind of manipulation we've seen this year. It's almost unmatched, and I mean on
True.
all levels of
True.
security, mind, you know, TV, fake news, everything. So I suppose, yeah, that's my little takeaway. Yeah.
Okay. So we have, I think, 4
I,
films that
oh,
we know.
oh,
We have,
my, yeah.
your upcoming, like 2021. So we have Death on the Nile, we have FUKREY 3, and tell me what else do you
Yeah.
have?
Codename Johnny Walker, which will start shooting this year. Another Netflix project that I've shit, I'm not supposed to say that, but whatever, it's there. मतलब आ रहा है.
Okay.
And what else is there? There are 2 other projects. One is a psychological thriller that we've shot, very experimental project actually. It's not
Okay.
your run of the mill. So it's just 2 people in a house, and we shot that during the pandemic. Um,
Okay.
Heavy topic, but it's a fun one. It's I think people will. Yeah, let's see. I don't know.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. If you want to give any message for your fans, I think this would be the time.
Your smile is very infectious. Um, I
Okay.
I
Thanks.
think that's what, right. That's the message
Yeah.
I think we should
Yeah.
give everybody. I think there's going to be 2 sides to every coin forever, right? If you're remotely a math student or a science student, which you'll understand that there are permutations and combinations and
True.
probabilities for every single thing. So outcomes will be endless, and you get to decide that sitting at your home. I suppose you are what you watch, or you are what you're given to watch. And I think somewhere in the middle of that, we have to find ourselves. So, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Vanna
that's a that's a beautiful way to put it. I think, you are what you watch. I think that is what sums up this year also. That's all literally what we've done. We just sat at home and watched, consumed.
Exactly. That's what we are.
So
We have to accept that we are consumers. We are being fed. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Or
Okay. It was fantastic talking to you, Ali. And I hope in the post-COVID world, when all these, PPE kits and sanitizers and masks are disposed of, we'll sit across the table and, do this in real life. Yeah.
I look forward to that. Yes. Hopefully.
Same
Yes.
here. Same here.
All
Thank you
right.
so much, Ali. Thank you. All the best for 2021.
You too. Yeah.